We're gonna take a look at what's going on in these what's popping right now in the Instagram. What is it called? TikTok streets. You know, everybody's doing TikTok, and the most basic people are doing TikTok. It's everywhere, and YouTube is coming hard with their shorts. They want to get on that wave. So some young ladies went on TikTok to gripe. So that it actually made news, bigger than local news, like news. This is news. This is news. What we're about to play.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that. I haven't heard anything about this.
Let's see.
Humanizing. It was like we were literally getting looked through. People were watching and seeing what was going on, and no one was helping.
A plus-size model is accusing a Hollywood hotspot of discrimination. The model called out the nightclub on social media. She says she and her friend were rejected at the door because of their size.
Well, now she's going viral after sharing her experience. KCAL9's Candace Crone is live in Hollywood with her story. Candace.
That's right. Well, two women were out for a night of fun when they tried to get into a popular Hollywood club and were turned away. Now, one of them is speaking out, saying that the whole ordeal was a nightmare and that changes need to be made.
It's traumatizing and it shatters a lot of girls' confidence.
Ella Halikas is speaking out after she and her friend were left standing out in the cold after trying to get into a Hollywood nightclub. She says they weren't let into the highlight room last Wednesday because of their body size.
So we're not able to get let in as a thicker, curvy woman. I just like to watch this unfold, so.
Just moments before, Halika says her friend Alexa J was near tears when the bouncer let in Jay's friends, but turned her away.
By the second it got to her, and she's a plus-size black woman, rope right in front of her.
Halika says she tried to step in, but...
And he looked at me up and down and said the same thing, and he said, "Not tonight." And it made me so upset because how many other girls is this happening to? It was so dehumanizing. It was like we were literally getting looked through. People were watching and seeing what was going on, and no one was helping.
The two posted this now viral video to social media talking about the incident. Halikas, who's a successful model and has made appearances in Sports Illustrated, among other projects, says she's received thousands of messages from other women who say they've experienced the same thing.
I can't sit back and allow this to keep happening. I have a platform and I have a voice and I want to use it.
We reached out to the highlight room. A spokesperson said they were aware of the incident and removed the doormen who worked that evening. The company says they do not tolerate discrimination of any kind. Halika says she embraces her curves and says more needs to be done so others don't have to experience what she did.
I think bouncers need training, maybe sensitivity training.
Now, the Tao Group, which owns the club, says that they reached out to the two women to talk about the incident. However, Halika says that they never tried to meet with her. Reporting live in Hollywood, Candace Crone, KCAL9 News.
Thank you, Candace.
So,
how do we? Where do we go from here?
I didn't even.
What do we go from? What do we say?
First, I got different points where I rolled my eyes during that video.
really, come on. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So can I just first start with the point? This video is about a woman being rejected because of her weight, right?
Right.
And so why is one of the first things they mentioned that she was also a black woman? Why do they always use race?
No, her friend was black.
Yeah.
There was two girls.
Yeah.
The black girl's the one who got shut down first.
Yeah.
And she was like at least 250 pounds.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, well, why did they mention? No, she mentioned a black. She's like also. She mentioned that she was a black woman.
Ooh.
She mentioned the way she mentioned.
Right,
yeah, that had
right,
nothing to do with anything. That is, it's not. It's not a race issue. So the first issue I have is there's always a point or something bolstered by like a blackness. In other words,
The commentary had to put her in there. Like,
why did they have to include my black friend got stopped first, and then he looked me up and down and was like, no.
yeah, that's it. Was extra wrong because she was also black. It's not just that she was. It hurt more that she was obese and black. It's bad
Right.
enough that she's black. That's what I hear when she says that. It's bad enough she's black, and now she has to deal with this too. So and I'm so mad about this. I don't even remember the second thing that made me roll their eyes. But before I remember that, do you have anything that bothered you?
No, I mean it's. You want to be sympathetic about the idea that about no discrimination, but a club is not that type of thing. I want to say, it has to do with aesthetics. Now, in a weird way, you have a preference of, say, tall man or a short man or a man who's white versus a black man. Now, is it right or wrong to say a certain club, they have a certain look they want to go with and they're trying to pull that into the establishment? And when we say no discrimination, that really goes hand in hand with receiving federal aid. So unless this club is receiving federal aid, they could pick and choose whoever they want to let inside their place. So
Right.
we did know that, but
Right.
I feel the thing, and it may bother those folks. But with that being said, there's a lot of folks that love a big girl, or love the curviness, as she puts it, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's places that that's you get to the front of the line because you're that way. So
No.
go where you're appreciated.
No.
You don't know about that club?
No.
I'm not sure.
Let's remember who we're talking to. I was in the bar and club business. Remember the parties that we threw at Body
Yes,
on the west side on 12th Avenue?
I'm saying there sure is a club that likes that. I'm
Poor
saying.
people clubs.
Yeah.
It's poor people clubs. Before
Talking
you
about
see,
Body, you're so-
when I was about 75 pounds ago, before this beautiful man that you see in front of you today, I was a different kind of guy, and I was in the bar business, club business, from the ages of 21 to 37. I was everything from a bar managing to bartender, of course, I started. And then I did the bar managing all the way up to where I was a managing partner, which basically means I'm not the owner, but everyone looks at me as the owner, and I could be fired if I don't make the place money. So I never got fired, that's a fact. I know how to make a lot of money. And one of the ways you make a lot of money is by keeping the fat girls outside and not inside. And when we used to do those parties on 12th Avenue, it was the hottest after work party that existed to this day in Harlem. And I would come out of where I was at. I was behind the there was like some sort of podium, and I was behind the podium and I was charging. And this party, this is 2005, 2006, and 2007, we were charging $40 to get in. We were charging the women $40 to get in. It was the hottest spot. We were going through, and this is no exaggeration, we was making $50,000 at the bar. $50,000 at the bar, and we were making $4,000 at the door. And I used to hit off, what's his name, with $2,000 every night. It was every Thursday night.
Right.
I would hit him off with $2,000, I'd do with the rest whatever I wanted to do, which was a beautiful thing. So we were averaging $4,000 to $5,000 at the door, $50,000 at the bar. And those two girls could not get in. I would walk outside, survey the line, walk past all the fat girls, and grab the beautiful, slim, beautiful black woman, and I would bring them inside. I would still charge them, but I didn't want them to have to wait online. And guess what all the fat girls did? Nothing. They sat there and they waited their turn. And after about 2-3 hours, you'll see them in the place. They would make it in there. But the reality of it is they never got pushed forward. Now all of a sudden, we have this whole culture where people could just have these platforms to complain on, and these platforms are viewed by so many people that the club was like, oh, We got rid of the bouncer that worked there. They could just push it off on the bouncer.
Yeah, that was my other problem. Is it the bouncer that ultimately makes the decisions about who gets in and who doesn't get in the bar? Or is he giving some instructions about who's bringing the bar? So why is he being the fall guy to something that I guarantee some standards that he was probably giving himself, and that not
he
only
was
that,
told
they were celebrating the big girls are celebrating and blaming bouncers across the country, talking about bouncers need sensitivity training.
But here's what the thing. You know what's going to happen? You know, is that guy really gone? Go back next month.
Oh, he's still in the club.
Yeah,
he's just not at the front door.
Yeah, you know
he might still be at the front door.
Like,
They're just saying, yeah, we got rid of that guy.
We don't want the smoke. We don't want the smoke.
We don't want the smoke. But let me tell you, what you don't want is your bar full of fat chicks. You do not want that. You'll go from making $50,000 a night to making $10,000 a night.
Because people will leave quicker.
Yeah, they're not staying. People not. They can go home to their girlfriends and their wives if they want to chill with fat girls. Let's just keep it real. Nobody wants a club full of fat girls. Like when I was in the bar business, there was this guy in a wheelchair that used to come by. And I would let him in. I was like, you know, he's in a wheelchair. I can't like stop this guy from coming in. But I turned around and there was 3-4 guys. When the wheelchair community found out that they were able to come to my bar, before I knew it, I had 3-4 wheelchair guys. We talking about the guys who were shy in the projects, and they got, you know, they got that SSI check coming in. They want to spend $100. I like your money. I appreciate you. It's Friday night. It got to the point where I had to say, for safety reasons, the fire department won't allow me to have but one wheelchair in the bar. I had to lie. Because it got out of control. When you start letting fat people and ugly people in your bar will become an ugly and fat person bar. And let me tell you, I used to, that was the biggest bone of contention. You could not be unattractive to come to my bar. You had to be good looking. You had to dress well. You had to put on shoes. If you don't know, I ran like the hottest money-making bar in Harlem, and I did that from 21 to 37. We made a lot. Well, 21 to 35. We made a lot of money, and I was very strict on the people I let in, and it was like the owner. Her and I would bump heads all the time because she felt like I shouldn't have so many people online. That I should just allow people to just flow, where I used to just keep the line slow. 1 or 2 people at a time. When somebody comes out, we're gonna let you in. And I told my security, don't play with me. Somebody comes out, then you can let 2 people in. And even if it wasn't packed, because I had to give up that illusion. People are hard working, spending their money. And at the time, I'm doing 35 bottles of Moet. I'm doing 13 bottles of Hennessy. I'm doing 19 bottles of Patron. I'm doing, in one night, I'm doing the Grey Goose. I'm doing 12 bottles of Grey Goose. We talking about people was popping bottles. People were balling. Yes, there are attractive fat women, of course. And I would let the most attractive, finest fat girl in there. But I'm not having my spot. See, what these girls don't know is 3 fat girls already got in that was hotter than them, sexier than them. And it had nothing to do with the girl being black. Maybe it did, because one of the things they don't want is a lot of black people in the clubs. You go to these clubs that are not black, they only want like 2% black, okay? And they want a guy that's gonna look at this fat black girl and say, I wanna send her and her friends a bottle. It's not gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. And now these girls have social media, so they all stuck up. They got 300 dudes in their inboxes and they think they hot shit. Back in the days, a fat girl used to be humble. Fat girl used to be able to give you some head and it'd be all right, no big deal. Now you gotta I'm not courting you. Come on. We go in my office and let's talk about it for we got 8 minutes. And that's it. This is before the Me Too era. The Me Too era has helped me. I'm a new man. I no longer, I understand that, you just can't be a pig no more. I didn't know. The Me Too era was a good thing because it gave me perspective. Oh, okay. All right, just because. I
probably shouldn't have said that.
I probably shouldn't have whipped it out that time. Maybe that was the wrong thing to do that day. But this is what happens when you're in the bar business, the club business. You tend to just over exaggerate everything, and it's all super sexualized. And these women did not represent super sexualized. They represented just, I got a voice, and I'm gonna bitch, and I'm gonna moan, and I'm with my black friend. And she's suffering, and now I'm suffering. We're suffering, and they're wrong.
100%,
No, what
100%.
you need to do is fucking work out. What you need to do is don't come in here with a size 22 jean thinking that we're gonna let you in. We're not letting 22 size jeans in. Come on, we're not doing it. And you in the bars, you in the clubs. Come on, I'm not about clubs. You in the bars. You heavy in the bars. Do you ever get told no?
I never got told no once. And the bars I frequent though, they have a good, well, it depends what we constitute as a fat woman. Now, I think the bars I go to, and I go to kind of younger bars, it's usually 21, 22-year-old, 22 to maybe 30.
Yeah.
And then the 22 to 30-year-olds, they're usually good looking and good shape and stuff like that.
Yes.
But that being said, there's a significant amount of planned C's and D's and throughout the bars.
Of course.
Like, but it's so
Of course.
I don't see any kind of I personally don't even see exclusion of bigger women. I don't think as many big women choose to go out as kind of other women, and I think that's the disparity we're seeing. I think there are situations like that, like we saw at that bar where they're just straight up turned away because they're big. And now, also, I have a question about that.
Well, that was the assumption.
Well, yeah, that's my
the
question.
assumption
They
that
weren't
they
told,
were-
so they weren't said. Nothing was
No,
said.
he just
to
said
them.
not tonight.
Yeah, nothing was
Not
said.
tonight.
Okay, that's good.
Not tonight. How many times did my security tell people not tonight? Don't get me wrong. I've been shot because of that. We told too many people you can't come in. Next thing you know, in the bar business, I was punched in the face 4 different New Year's Eves, straight punch in the face. And I've been shot in the bars. I've had bottles thrown at me because people get mad that we didn't let them in. And it didn't have anything to do with them being fat. I just wasn't feeling them. A lot of times I gave my security carte blanche to however you feeling. If those people are walking up to my business and you got a funny feeling about them, shut them down. And I would give my security carte blanche the power to just stand there and go, not tonight. Not tonight. That's what they don't understand. The security is giving carte blanche because the security want to go home. He don't want no drama. And that black girl, the fat black girl that came in, she probably had a stank face. Her lips was all poked out. She had attitude. She was on her phone like this, online, talking about this line taking so long. Like, come on.
And
the line is there to create the buzz. The line is there to get the salivating of the party. Everybody wants to be in this party. Everybody wants to salivate. Like, ooh, let me see if I can find a spot. Ooh, I got a spot. Nah, we going in. We going in. That's what it's all about. It's all about. And let me just say this. This problem these women are having did not start that night at the club. It started in junior high school when they didn't let them in the chess club, when they didn't let them in the certain club. And that it all starts from junior high and high school. You know when you fit in. You know where you fit in. That's why those guys showed up with the damn wheelchairs trying to get into my bar, giving my bar the biggest eyesore in the world. I don't want to see 4 wheelchairs in my bar. People don't want to see that. It makes you uncomfortable. You remember Keith Slav? Yeah, the Keith Slav is a famous kid from he's a grown man, famous guy from Harlem. Everybody knows Keith Slav. And he suffers from autism or something like that. So all the parties he would go to in Harlem, they would be like, let him in. But my problem was he would be staring at the women there because he's autistic. So he would stare at them with this awkward look in his face that I didn't let him come in anymore.
He was harmless, right?
He was harmless. And he was always talking about his birthday parties coming up. Dude, your birthday party coming up for 11 months. But every time you see him, he's like, my birthday party is coming. And he would always talk about basketball because he's been on like videotapes where he got the last shot, at the Rucker game, all this kind of stuff. I was like, no. Keith Slav, I told my security, if you let Keith Slav in, you lose your job. And my boss was like, why? He's like a pillar. Everyone knows him. He's a good guy. I said, he makes women uncomfortable. I don't want a woman to come to my bar and say, we got fat girls, wheelchairs, and Keith Slav over here. No.
It's a money decision.
Come on.
It's a business decision.
It's a business, not tonight. Not tonight, ladies. And of course, it's because they look at themselves as victims. It's a victim culture. This culture is so victimized. Everybody's like, look at the problems I have because what?
The double standards are crazy. It's
Over.
almost as if the man is a guy at the bar who wasn't let in, decided to make a YouTube clip and talks about, you know what, they didn't let me in because I wasn't going to buy a bottle. You know,
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. They want a credit card right there at the door.
They're testing the guy with how much money you willing to spend to get in here, to be in here.
Right.
So that could be considered discrimination.
Yo, do you remember the time we went to that club and we saw what's that tennis player was there? Venus? Oh no, it wasn't Venus. It was the singer. Fantasia was there. Yeah. That's a big difference, right? Yeah. Two chocolate sisters, right? And Fantasia was there with some thugged out dude. I think she married him or something like that. He was real gangster. Like, I was like, whoa, that dude is super gangster. I mean, like just like everybody walking by. You know, like holding 2 bottles. Relax your face, buddy. Come on. So when we went into the club, she wanted my credit card. I said, lady, I gave her $50 and said, walk us in. Come on. Put that in your pocket. And she's like, oh no, I'm not allowed to do that. I said, put it in your pocket. We're going inside. And we went inside. But they was trying to get us to spend $300 before we walked in the door. Are you crazy? You trying to play me? Right. But there was no TikTok back then. What we would have did? We would have got on our TikTok. My friend here is a physician. He's saving lives in the ER. We trying to relax, and they doing us dirty because they mad at. I don't know what I could have said at the time. We was
and nobody would care.
No one would care.
Nobody would care.
No one would care.
You know.
You got these 2 whales over here acting this way, and I'm a 344. Whoa, wait, whoa.
Yeah, I can say it.
338 pounds.
All right.
Okay, doing my push-ups every day. You know, I'm back on it.
All right.
But let me just say this. I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I got distracted thinking about what number that weight was. You know, but I weighed myself at the storage the other day, and it was crazy that the storage. I had weighed myself. I have a scale for like a hospital scale. And I looked at it, it said 370 something. I was like, no. So I stood on it and I moved it from 350 over to 300. So that felt good. And then I moved it back and so I was like 336 or something like that. So, you know, that's something better than, you know, a week ago. A week ago I was 344. Now I'm 336, 338, something like that. But my point is, no one gives a F about me and the doc going to a club and they want it right there and then. They say, you got to give us a credit card. They wouldn't accept cash. I reached over, gave the girl $50, said, stop all that. We going in. Alpha male. We running the show kind of thing. Y'all just work here. Come on. And we had a good time. We stood there for like 2 hours. Fantasia was over there with her thugged out man. We had a good time. But this is, and then Hollywood, it's like, remember the time in Studio 54 when they used to be like superstars? Outside, they used to have there was a thing where they would have like famous people go and get their guitar. They start performing for the people in the crowd trying to get in this club. Come on. You're supposed to not be able to get in this club. You ain't supposed to just walk right in. I was running a bar in Harlem. I refused to let it happen. So you telling me on Hollywood Boulevard, a full-fledged club? My place is only 1,000 square feet. 1,000 square feet. This club is probably 4,000 square feet. You're gonna tell these people that. Come on. Anyway, I digress, man. I'm just so sick of this victim mentality. Everybody's so victimized. Oh, woe is me.
It's not victim mentality. It's opportunist mentality. I think.
Tell me what you mean, opportunist.
I think it's more so because in order to be even viewed as victim, they need to go out and scream that I am a victim, and they almost have to do something brave. In that, like, I'm not saying brave. It's not brave. The action is not brave, and it's not a special thing to do. But you are putting yourself out there, and you're opening yourself up to criticism. You're opening yourself up to any kind of dialogue that can happen based on what you said or what you did. And I think it provides you with an opportunity. So it doesn't. People don't express themselves out to be victims without expecting anything. No one says they're a victim on Facebook without expecting a like. So they're opportunists. They see them. That's right. It's not so much a victim. It's how they leverage their victimhood. It's not. there's a currency in your victimness. It's worth something. And if you feel you're fat and you feel bad about yourself, it's worth something.
No. They don't feel bad about themselves.
No,
they're fat and they feel good.
No, they feel bad about how the world feels about them.
Right.
Does that make sense?
They feel bad about the way the world feels about them.
Yeah, or how they perceive the world to feel.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah,
there
no
is no
one cares.
proof.
Yeah, no
There
one
is no
cares.
proof that they didn't let your fat friend in. It could have been because her lips was poked out.
And maybe it wasn't because she was fat. It could have been because she was ugly. That's possible.
My friend was
Is that-
kind of cute.
The
But you know, I have the eye.
oh, both of them are
the white girl. I
I didn't
even
even look at the girl. I was just listening to the video.
Yeah. The black girl was cute. She was a big old black girl. She had that what they call that the fupa. You know, when you wear the jeans and the fat starts at the top of the vagina and it goes all the way up to the chest. No,
Listen, we don't judge fat women here.
I do. You can't have a fupa and be around me. I can't do it. I'm not gonna be lifting anything up in order to get to the prize. No.
I'd still bang you.
No. That requires way too much work. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna act like academics. I'm the prize. You are appreciated for tuning into Premium Black News, where we talk about things like this. We talk about all kind of things here at the Premium Black News, and I think it's important because we're in a culture, in a climate where people are grabbing that TikTok and they say stuff like, "I have a platform." You don't have shit, love. You don't have shit. You subscribe to a Chinese platform that says in the terms of conditions that they will not only go through all your pictures,
All your shit.
all your files.
Yep.
All your files will be copied. Your files.
Do you hear that?
Who copied? Who? What? I only have like 3 files on my phone. This shit is not important. I got voicemail of my mom who passed away 6 years ago on my phone. You telling me y'all gonna go through that too? That's TikTok. So I'm not impressed about your platform that you think you got.
No.
This really bothered me.
It is.
It really bothered me. It really bothered me. I'm not gonna lie.
You should move, and how you should actually move. You should have 2 different phones. I've understood that now. And all your social media stuff where you mess around with whatever it is, IG, TikTok, you don't have nothing on there but whatever you looking up. Don't keep none of your real information there. None of that. Matter of fact,
No, what about the emails? Everything is linked to an email.
So you create an email account that you do your, if you have an iPhone, you do whatever that iService, your iPhone account, you create that with that. So you have nothing but just the information. You have to start to create some level of privacy. It's the lack of privacy that's causing a lot of the issue because we're giving all of ourselves away. You know?
We're giving it away.
But they doing
The
that
terms
for
of-
something. That's a visa. That's a quid pro quo. That's something for something like that. Them expressing them to like the people who are making the grievances. The 2 big girls. They're getting some from speaking this out to the world. The people who are whatever predatory reporters found them and like listened to their story and decided to like put this out there, because I don't know how they got this to a reporter that they weren't let into a bar, because that couldn't I don't even know, that couldn't have happened that night.
How is this news?
How is this? I don't even know how they
is
got
this
it to a
news?
reporter. So that almost insinuates that they may have some kind of personal connection.
No.
Or they have some kind of...
No. No. Sorry to say that to you so aggressively. No, they don't have a hookup. No, what it is just that there's nothing really happening right now.
But why did that big
The
girl say that she
newsroom-
has a voice? Why does she think she has a
thinks
voice?
TikTok is her voice.
But
She
must,
has
maybe she
TikTok
has
to
followers.
Yeah, she has a
maybe
bunch
she
of
has-
followers.
yeah.
She has a bunch of followers. She has a bunch of followers.
And if
You
it-
know, there's a lot of
I
simps
wouldn't
out
push it.
there. Simps are born every day. You know, and let me just tell you, the black girl was kind of cute. She was. But, you know, would I have stopped her from coming in? I would probably only let her in because she's with the white girl. Had she not been with the white girl, she'd have stood outside an hour. Minimum. unless they were talking bottle talk. If my security would have came to me and said it was her birthday and they want to buy a bottle, I would have did it. I said, yeah, let them in. But if they just want to get in, and you know what's also here, check this out. They were with a group of people that were allowed in, and when the black girl stepped up, they shut her down, and then she moved the black girl to the side, and then he's like, not tonight to her. So your friends never went back out there. They never talked to the man. You telling me your friend ain't hot enough to talk to the manager and say, I got 2 friends out there. Come on.
Right.
Look at us. Look at the money we're spending. Or look at those guys. They're looking at us. They feeling us. See, a lot of women are freeloaders. A lot of these women are freeloaders. They're not spending. It's very hard to find women that are spending money. That women are waiting for the man to buy the money. Women are still getting over by the man buying them the drinks. The man sending the bottle to the table. Have you ever sent a bottle to a table? Have you ever sent a bottle to a table?
That's stupid. That's bad, actually.
How about a drink? Have you ever bought?
I've sent a drink over before.
No, not a drink. Have you ever sent a drink over to the party of girls, where you say to the bartender or the server, get that young lady and her friend something to drink?
Not to my memory. Not to my memory.
No, not like 4 or 5 people. We put 2, maybe at the max 3. I can't even remember a particular situation, but definitely at least 2, couple of times.
Yeah, for all that actionness, I just walk up with them and talk. Then you know who you don't need to buy a shot. You know?
Right. Well, I've done that. I've done that many times. Only because I was in the bar business. I like to keep the flow going, but I never say anything. I'm like, yo, I don't mind if they say something like the bartender can say, this gentleman over here wants to take care of you ladies. I will lift my glass up. Okay? I would do the proverbial tipping of the hat. I never had a hat back then. But I have done that many times. Have I sent a bottle to a table? Yes, I've actually done that too. I've done that. I've sent a bottle a few times in my life. But that was when I was in that bar mentality, that mind frame, working in the business, knowing the business, what makes it work. I know how to keep it popping. Those 2 girls, nobody was sending them bombs. They was in the way. They taking up real estate. Every square foot in a club, in a bar, in your apartment, in a business costs money. Okay? Like when I had in my pizzeria, they wanted to put a huge ass ATM machine. I said, I need something smaller. You can't take up that kind of real estate without paying me. But, I digress. You are appreciated. I'm Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg, and I'm here with the incomparable
Ulrich
and the illustrious,
Not Dr. Surgery. People's doctor.
the people's doctor here. All right, so we got, what we want to say is thanks for listening. Oh, maybe somebody might have said something. Let me see. Boom, boom. All right, T. Rilla's on point. How did they tell that the women that they couldn't come in? Oh, yeah, they just said after the black girl got denied, when the white girl stepped up for her friend, he was like, not tonight. That's all he said was not tonight. And they took it as, they didn't let me in. Oh, I just remembered. All right. There was this woman, large woman, who was on TikTok saying that her date that she had canceled on her the last second. All right? So she said, and I don't understand what the problem was. I got all beautiful for him. So she backs up off the camera. So the whole time she's like this, talking, even closer than this. So she backs all the way up. All the way. Let me back up. She backs up all the way. She was bigger than me. Okay? This woman was like, bow. So everyone in the comment section came after her. Like, girl, look how big you are. That's why he shut you down. But then she went back on TikTok and she said, let me show you what really happened. And she shows all the pictures. Yo, this girl on like Tinder, wherever she met a Bumble, Rumble, wherever she met a Plenty of Fish, she has full-length pictures of herself. And she's an attractive woman too. She's a big white girl. And she was saying, I never let him on. And then she exposed the news because a news article wrote a whole story about this. And you know what they said? The same thing that this news article said, that they are, she is comfortable with her curves. And this girl was like, I never said that. And she then calls up the person who wrote the article, and she's like, "Why did you say that?" I said, "Why are you quoting me? And you and I never had a conversation. I've never said that I have curves that I like because I'm fat. I'm a fat girl." And the guy that I was supposed to go out with a date with knew he was coming to meet a fat girl. I'm not a curvy girl. I'm a fat girl. So I thought about that when the news segment. It was the same verbiage. Because we never once heard the woman say that she's comfortable in her curves.
Right.
But the news said it. And the news also said the same thing for another thing. So comfortable in your curves is some sort of mainstream media.
Oh, definitely.
What's that? Pundits or not pundits? Jargon. It's like
Right.
it's just the words that they're
jargon
using.
for
Right? The
fat.
new jargon for fat. Comfortable. And she was like, "Yo, I'm fat. I'm not comfortable with my curves. I don't have curves. I'm a fat girl." She was attractive too.
Right.
But the guy shut her down in the last minute. So the people came after her crazy. But I respected her for calling herself fat. Like me, I'm fat. You don't talk about I'm husky. Come on, knock it off. I'm fat. Be true to yourself. I'm fat because there's a period in my life where I got kind of lazy. Stop doing my push-ups. You know? Come on.
Back on
And then the problem also with me was that I started shopping at Kohl's. And Kohl's came up with that 2XB and then 3XB. Oh man, you can get a nice outfit and it's gonna fit you good. I look all right. So that was another thing. They were putting out all these cool
Is
sizes,
that extra big?
extra big.
Okay.
Because what it does, it was fitting you on the shoulders and stomach differently than the 2X.
Gotcha.
So it was like Kohl's came out with their whole line of clothing where I was able to get Adidas suits, 2XBs. So, I'm like, yo, I'm all right. I got lazy. But here's the thing, these people that are making these pants, because there was a time where you couldn't get a jean pants that was nice over a size 36. And then they slowly gave you the 38. And then years later, they came out with the 40, now the 42. So I made it all the way up to a 42, 44, but the clothes were kind of fly still.
Right.
They played us. They were like, it's okay, you can keep eating. Keep going to Burger King every night. Keep eating. My thing was, you remember when this guy can eat, man. Like, he can eat more than I can eat, but he just doesn't eat anymore. But he never got fat. I would be hanging with this dude, and we'd be at Burger King. Then I go home and eat dinner.
That's called a bang bang.
Yeah.
One meal, you get the 1 meal right after.
Yeah. So that didn't work out for me, And then of course, it's years of that, You went to the gym after your Burger King, with your fat friend. You went to the gym the next day. I didn't go to the gym the next day, So it's like you gotta just be honest with yourself. These women need to tell the truth. You're fat. You're lazy. You're not doing what you need to do to get your shit done. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Just like the guys, you need to work and make sure you have a certain amount of capital so you can be where you kind of want to be at. If you're going to be in a type of, lounge like that, you need to have the money to represent so you can walk in and don't stay out in the line. If you're going to be a woman that's going to show up there, you got to be in a situation where you can walk in there.
Yes.
And being a big woman is not one of those places that you get readily, escorted in.
Exactly. I'm not walking the fat girl in. Sorry. Respectfully.
Hey.
Anyway, thank you. You are appreciated. All Star Sports 23.
All right.
Don't forget, this is a value for value show. And I'm not gonna get tired telling you this. If you gotten value out of this, I see somebody over here, the new person I've never seen before, All Star Sports 23. I hope you're subscribing to the Premium Black News channel. And I see that you have some smiley face emojis there, which sounds like you got some value out of this. So if you've gotten some value out of this, you need to hit the Cash App. You need to hit the Venmo. And that's Elvis Rosenberg, $ Elvis Rosenberg, and at Elvis-Rosenberg. Express yourself. Let's show the value that you're getting from this chef.
All right.
Dr. Surgeon.
And I love you. Come on.